Hello, friends. Okay, week 4, day 1, right? Day 16. So today is all on coaching calls. And originally I had planned just to make a post about coaching calls and kind of how to do them, but I have become so passionate about coaching calls, and I have I've received some great training in the past 6 weeks. I'm also running a program for directors for the previous 4 weeks of coaching calls. And so I've become really passionate about this. And so I thought, you know what? We're going to do a quick video. I don't know how quick it's going to be. I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to speed you through a coaching certification workshop that I'm doing with other leaders, because there's such an importance to know on how to do a correct coaching session or call with your team members. And I didn't realize that at first. At first, I thought anytime that I would get together with a consultant, whether it was for lunch or on the phone or Zoom, whatever it was, and we talked about the business and talked about some ideas, what they're struggling with and whatnot, and shared some things to do and whatever, I thought that was a coaching session. Come to find out, it's not. Because a coaching session is you as the coach asking the coachee all the right questions and allowing the coachee to come up with the suggestions and the answers to basically their struggles and their problems on their own. I literally was blown away. I was like, so I've not really been doing coaching sessions at all. I've really been having mentoring and teaching sessions. And the first thing I want you to know is that is fine. If those are things that you are having because they need to happen, those are fine. And in those instances, you may be having the coachee, the consultant that is needing the help. If they don't know how to do what needs to be done, then it turns into a mentoring and a teaching moment. If they know how to do it, and they know the steps, and they can think through the steps, and they really can come up with solutions on their own, that is when it turns into a coaching session. And that's what it needs to be, a coaching session, okay? That's a huge difference. So let's talk through, I'm gonna kind of go through what I was originally going to post, but then also talk a little bit about questions too, okay? So how do coaching calls work? So first, personally, you have to figure out who you want to coach. We've talked about identifying leaders. We've talked about the 4=1. You need those 4-star consultants to be a director. So it's looking at those people and asking them, do you want to go far? Do you want to grow your business? And if you don't have such a big team, you can present this to your team. If you have a bigger team, maybe you're only presenting it to your front line and to those leaders that you have identified. So that's up to you. How many do you want to have? How many coaching sessions a week do you want to have? Or, however, you need to figure out what that fits into your business like, okay? Then we also need to make sure that when you are doing these coaching sessions with them, that you're putting a lot of the responsibility on them. At first, I would be the one that was calling or FaceTiming in my sessions. And I really found that meant I was the one that was really wanting to do these. It wasn't keeping them accountable to holding on to their session and to really blocking that time out for me. And it really got to be frustrating sometimes because I would find people out shopping or in their cars or not prepared for the session. And here I am, I'm spending my time with them And so this needs to be a time that you say, okay, listen, this is going to be a time that we're going to block out. We're going to do it 30 minutes. I want you to really try to keep it to 25 to 30 minutes. 30 minutes more, like any longer than 30 minutes is kind of too long for a coaching session. And we're going to block out 30 minutes, and it's going to be a time when you and I are like, we're sitting down at our desks. We have no distractions. Maybe you have your computer in front of you, but this is a time for us. That is what a true coaching session needs to be, okay? Now, I know life, I know kids, I know husbands. Like anything can happen, but that's what your goal and your intent needs to be, okay? Then there's a whole bunch of things of how to start a coaching session. There's a Google Doc you could send them out that you could say, okay, what do you need coaching on? What are you struggling with? What does your business look like right now? And they have to fill that out before you have a coaching call. I'm going to attach onto this video to below in the link is a workstation, a link to a coaching call prep sheet. And they can fill that out. And they can email it to you, send it to you, take a picture, like seriously snap a picture and send it to me. That's really all that you need, okay? And it's minimal effort on their part. But that's in prepping for the call. That way you could also know coming into the call, what are they wanting? Like you don't just answer the phone and you're like, hey Sarah, it's Hannah. So what's our coaching call gonna be on today? Like you're not prepared. And so if you send these prep sheets to them, you're going to be well prepared, okay? And you don't have to do it just the way that Cincy does it, or like Google and look for coaching worksheets. I know that Chloe Cox has one out. I think Chelsea Otto might have one out too as well. I can send you what I have as well. Find what works for you. And better yet, make it your own. Make it your own worksheet or Google Doc, whatever you want to do, that you are sending out to them. If it's literally an email that has questions and they answer the questions and email it back to you, girl, that is fine. You do you, and you do what works best for your sessions, okay? Make sure that they complete that before they start your coaching, before they're allowed to start your coaching call. During your coaching call, you're going to be asking them questions. And there's some important questions that you're going to ask. And I just want to share with you guys, I was telling you earlier, I've been going through a certification workshop with Cincy. They've been doing it for superstar directors. And it's been literally eye-opening for me to go through this and to learn what I was doing wrong, really. I was really teaching and not coaching. So it's going to be difficult to only ask questions, okay? But here are the powerful, where am I going to find it? The coaching model questions. And you know what? I'm going to put these in the comments too for you guys to see. I'll see if I can just copy and paste this or whatever. But coach stands for C, the current situation. What is happening now with them? What have they already tried? And these are questions that you're going to be asking them. What is getting in the way of achieving their goal? O, objectives. What is their desired goal? What are expected benefits from achieving this? What needs to change for them to achieve their goal? A, alternatives. What could they do? What options do they have? What else? What else could you be doing in your business that could help you this? What else do they need to consider? These are all questions. A coaching session is all about you asking questions. Ask the right questions. Help them dig deep and dig further into what their why is. Because they could come in and they could say, no one wants to join my team. I've asked everybody. No, I can't get a single recruit. This is a great coaching conversation to have, because we can start with, okay, so I hear you saying that you've asked everybody. Who have you asked? And then you ask, and then at least more questions. Okay, what was the response? Okay, how did you ask? Okay, how did you follow up? These are all questions that you're asking to dig further and deeper into training them and helping them come up with the answer themselves, okay? CH in the coach model is for choices. So once you've asked the right questions, they've kind of come up with some action plans, maybe that, okay, you know what? I didn't ask everybody that I thought I did. So what am I going to do now to ask those people? So they're going to create the action plan. And so you're going to have goals and objectives and actions for them to do after the call. You're going to write them down and make them write them down, because they need to have these completed before you do the next call. And that's not something that I have always stuck with. And I think there's some gray areas in there. But really, if we're having a coaching call and we're finding the things that you need to do, but you're not going to do them, why are you wasting my time? And so I really am trying to crack down on that and look at our goals and say, okay, these were the goals that we set. Now, why are they not completed? Life, maybe the plan wasn't working the right way. Then you reevaluate and you have another coaching call and a coaching session of where then you reevaluate and you say, okay, why didn't this work? Why weren't you able to do this? And then you keep going on and on and on. Can you guys tell that I'm really passionate about this? I love coaching calls. And the thing too is that you could coach anyone on anything and you know nothing about it, but it's always about asking the right questions, right? I know nothing about fly fishing, and this just literally popped in my head. Nothing. I know absolutely zero. I know that they stand in the water and they have this long pole and they like fling a long line. That's all I know. If I'm asking the right questions in a coaching session with someone that wants to become a better fly fisher and they already have some skill, I guarantee you that we can coach them to become a better fly fisher. I don't have to know anything about the situation. I don't have to know anything about fly fishing, but asking the right questions and helping them dig deep into, they know the steps and they know the why and they know how to do things. Am I making sense? I really hope I am, okay? Coaching calls, you know, they can be done Zooms, FaceTime, whatever. And I really want to stress to you to not just make them a phone call. Make them a face-to-face. Not a lot of people like that. And I've taken people out of their comfort zones when they've done that. But we've talked about really becoming someone that knows your team and someone that is personalizing who they are, not just another name. And so when you see somebody's face to face, you see their surrounding, you see their facial expressions, it really helps to get to know that person. Because yes, tone and voice says a lot, but sometimes facial expressions say a lot more too as well, okay? So really try FaceTime, Zoom can be free, FaceTime, Google Meet, Facebook Messenger. You can video through Facebook Messenger too. I've done that many times as well too. So let me see what I want for your action plans today. So below, I want you to chat about what coaching calls might look like for you right now. Have you been having coaching calls? Have you not been having coaching calls? Have you been having more of a mentor session and a teaching session? Because a lot of the times, and here's the big thing to know, a lot of times when someone will say, you know, Hannah, I just cannot book a party. And in my mind, a coaching session would say, okay, Sarah, well, have you tried? And I would give them something. And they would say, you know, no, I haven't tried that. I'll go ahead and try that. That's not a coaching session, that's a mentoring session. A coaching session is, okay, Sarah, what other things could you try? That's great. Okay. Tell me some more things. Like, think outside the box. What's some other things that you could try? So you're really prompting. You're prompting them to really give you the right answer. Okay. All right. So below, what do your coaching sessions look like? What have you as a coachee, the person that's being coached, have they been real coaching sessions, or have they been mentoring and teaching? What were there any eye openers for you during this video? Reach out to me if you really want to know more about coaching sessions. I can send you even these coaching model work, these questions. And it's always nice to have them beside you when you're coaching, because you can go and get stuck in a coaching session and be like, okay, here's a different alternative. What could you do? Because you have the coaching model questions right beside you too as well. Okay. So I'm going to post below the link to the workstation coaching call prep worksheet that you can send out to as well, and start to get those coaching calls scheduled with your team. Because even if they're just a 15 to 20 minute session on, how are you recruiting? How are you booking your parties? How are you getting your sales? Like, these are times that you can really dig in and find and identify those leaders too, and those people that want to do it. Make them schedule a time that they are sitting down working one-on-one with you, and make them take the initiative to call. You be available, but make them take the initiative to call. Okay? All right. We'll see you tomorrow.